And then there was 3.
Yeah, hell yeah. What up? Can't hear you. Plug in the old mic back in. Do you have? We might have to do chat about it because I can't hear you. Do you have a PC or Mac, Bo?
Can't hear you.
Can you hear us? I can't hear you, but can you hear us? There. Okay, it says it's connecting. Did not connect. No. Can you? Okay. I don't know if he can hear us, so I don't know if me saying anything helps.
Okay, wait, I can hear you now.
Yes. Okay. Yep. There we go. Welcome back to The Good, Bad, and the Garbage, part of the Oscar Real Movie Podcast. Here's the end of our Jackie Chan trilogy, for now, at least. Jackie Chan's First Strike, which directed by the same guy that did Rumble in the Bronx, Stanley Tong. But also, first thing I'm going to say about this movie, so I had said previously that this movie takes place in America, and it's called First Strike because it's his first movie in America, and the poster of this movie says the world's most explosive action star fights for America for the first time
in Australia.
But this movie does not take place in America at any point. First thing I wanted to say about this movie. I'm literally looking at the poster right now. Fights for America for the first time. Well, okay, maybe. Doesn't happen in America, though. Starts out in China.
Involved in this?
What was that?
Are there even Americans involved in this?
The CIA, I guess.
Kind of, but barely. Because, it starts out in China, goes on a plane to the Ukraine, somehow accidentally goes to Russia, and then, the rest of the movie takes place in Australia.
I guess I didn't even put that together. Yeah. Well, I guess I didn't know what the cover looked like. I never really looked, but it's...
Well, it's just, for whatever reason, that's, what I remembered this for. And then I'm watching the movie, and I'm waiting for them. I thought the aquarium would be, SeaWorld or in California or something stupid like that, because I remember it ended at an aquarium. But then they go to Australia, and then they never leave. And I'm just like, what the fuck's going on here? Also, this movie, he probably, so going back to the beginning when he's giving a presentation to, I think, the CIA or someone. I don't know if you remember, but that has to be one of the shortest presentations given at a police station ever. They pan in. I think he has 2 slides and mispronounces the name. He goes, yeah, this is this person. I don't know. I think I'm saying that name wrong. And then the presentation ends, 2 slides, and everyone pats him on the back and says, good job, Jackie. That was a great presentation. I think you really impressed him. Just setting us off on this movie on the right foot right there.
It does seem like a lot of these Jackie Chan movies might have taken shortcuts to not just that, but random scenes where it seems like something's not, it doesn't make sense time wise that something would have taken that long. At the end of the movie, when this is jumping way ahead, but at the end of the movie when he's getting blasted by all the water, and then they're going on the boat, and suddenly he's back up there and he kind of looks wet, but he was just getting hit by a fire hydrant of hose essentially. It's oh yeah, that happens in a minute. Or going back to Rumble in the Bronx when he's in the middle of downtown, and then a minute later he's driving a hovercraft on the 17th hole of a golf course.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, it's directed by the same guy, so it makes sense. But this movie definitely feels more like Rumble in the Bronx than it does Drunken Master. This and Rumble in the Bronx are just silly in random ways, whereas Drunken Master, I thought it'd be the opposite. Because Drunken Master, it's all about getting drunk to fight. So I was waiting for a lot of those silly moments. Well, that one was fairly serious, so it was kind of weird. Right. But yeah.
I did think that this movie, at least, I know we talked about in the last movie, Rumble in the Bronx, that we couldn't figure out whether it's trying to take itself serious or not. I think this one definitely like took itself serious, like way more than Rumble in the Bronx. Like it didn't seem like it had as many quirky humor moments. It still had it. Like I know I was chuckling at a stupid little seal hat in the beginning, and then he's like over the wood, and the little seal is just like you get like light comedic moments like that, but it definitely seemed two things that one, this one took itself more serious, and two, this one didn't seem to rely in the beginning on Jackie Chan fighting. Like I don't know, maybe if I missed something, but it wasn't like a serious fight scene until like a good chunk of the movie was over, and it's not that long of a movie like the rest of them have been.
There wasn't just Jackie Chan action scenes. It was like the whole plot action scenes, like all the different characters. Because it just starts out and it just goes full throttle right away. Like pretty soon you're just, oh, it's Jackie giving a report. And then Jackie's skiing down a hill in a firefight. And then he's drowning in ice water.
Yeah.
And then he's on a submarine to Australia.
From the Ukraine, right? How long would that trip be? Like I haven't looked at a map, but is it
he flies. Remember, he's in the airplane or the helicopter, and they fly, and then they drop him off on the submarine.
Okay.
Because that's how he gets into Australia, is on the submarine.
Yeah.
Why I don't understand why you need to get into Australia on a submarine, but that's what they do.
Well, he was secretly working for the Russian mob, so they couldn't get in.
The story was so confusing in the beginning. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Who is good? Who is bad? What is with the briefcase? Who's this Asian guy giving nuclear warheads to? What is going on? And then it like doesn't resolve itself until way later, like until they meet the grandfather at the hospital.
Which, yeah, and then he's like the leader of the triad, so it's like, I don't know, there's a lot going on in this.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. But I think that was the point of the movie, was you were supposed to be guessing. Like, I don't know who's good, who's bad. Like Jackie. And why does Jackie name Jackie in the last two movies? Like, how lazy of writing is that?
They just really like his name. Maria's dying in the kitchen.
Yes, I heard that. Well, yeah, because let's see. This was like an unofficial sequel to, I don't know if you guys looked that up, because Jackie Chan has a series called Police Story. There's like 3 or 4 movies to it. So they made this movie, First Strike, and then like after the fact made it the 4th Police Story movie. So I wonder if it's because his name is Jackie in those movies. I'm trying to look it up. No, it's not. I don't know.
I was going to say, at least be a reason.
Yeah, nope, I don't know. I think it was laziness. I think you're right. I think it was just laziness on their part. But yeah, I remember as a kid, I remember all the cool action scenes, like the ski scene.
It's like they made a half-assed James Bond. Like they saw James Bond do it, and they're like, we can do that in ours, but it's going to be Jackie, and he's learned how to snowboard randomly, because that's what they do in Hong Kong, is snowboard all the time. Not well. He didn't do it well. He fell a lot.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he made it down the hill as far as he did, or not die.
Yeah, right.
He was falling over everything. How did that nuclear warhead not go off, or that briefcase must be also made out of, like, the best material ever?
Yeah, the whole nuclear warhead thing was kind of, I don't know, because it ends what was that?
Cliche. Anytime you're dealing with Eastern Europe and Russia, it's got to be nuclear warhead.
I felt like they're like, what needs to be the thing in this movie? Oh, nuclear warhead. Because, so it's in the briefcase or whatever, and then the bad guy, who ends up being a good guy in the end, mails it to his sister in Australia, which, let's just mail a nuclear warhead. You know, that's, the Postal Service usually takes care of shit, so that's not going to go wrong.
Confidential. They real fragile on it.
Yeah. They mail it to her, and I like how the note says, "Oh, here's a little souvenir for it. By the way, don't use this." Like,
also, why does she go immediately and bury it in the shark tank?
Yeah, well, she's like trying to hide it, so it's the best place to hide it, the nuclear warhead. But my thing was like, so when the bad guy, I should just try to figure out his name, but I'm not going to do that quickly enough.
Which guy is the bad guy? Gregor?
No, the Chinese guy that has his sister.
Yeah, but that guy didn't end up being bad.
I know, but I'm just saying that guy, when he's explaining to Jackie like what's going on, I can't remember his name. What's his fucking name?
I'm just laughing at that. This is probably like explains enough about this movie that we're like the bad guy, but that guy's not actually bad. But yeah, like he's the bad guy at this moment in the movie.
Jackson, he was the Chinese American scientist. He was like a CIA guy. And then he's the one that goes up to the cabin that Jackie follows immediately when he gets to Ukraine.
Okay. Yes, that's who I'm talking about.
Finds out that him and Tasha are actually together.
Yeah. Because he was following her. He was following her, and that's how he.
And then the Russians that recruit Jackie to go get this nuclear warhead back are actually the bad guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of flip-flopping going on in this movie. We're really explaining it well here.
But I feel like that's the point. You were supposed to be confused because Jackie was confused, who is also Jackie Chan.
Yeah, he's just himself. But yeah, when Jackson, right, when he was explaining to Jackie like what was going on, I like how Jackie's like, oh, so he's trying to the Russian mob, so they're getting the nuclear warhead because he wants a nuclear warhead, huh? And then Jackson's response is like, no, not really. He uses it to buy like oil companies and become an oil tycoon. I'm like, what's going on? Like, what? I don't know. Like the whole nuclear warhead thing seems.
When in doubt, Eastern European guy is always the bad guy. I mean,
it's true.
Always the bad guy. Even in Chinese American movies, Russia, bad.
I'm actually trying to think of a movie that contradicts that, but I'm like. I'm not enough of not a mystery buff, movie buff to like actually have any clue.
Yeah,
there is not one movie where the Russians are the good guys.
All the time. Hunt for Red October.
Wasn't it the Russians that were trying to blow up the sub?
Sean Connery was a Russian guy who was kind of a good guy. So
I was on Team Germany in that one. So.
Can you really say that Russia was the worst or the USSR was the worst in Miracle? I mean, it's like there's hockey players.
But it
looked like they wanted to cut you. Behind enemy lines, but they were both Russian, so they're bad. Oh, wait, no, behind enemy lines. That's it. That's the one. The sniper was Russian, and then they were shooting the Germans. Did it. I contradicted myself. All right, what movie are we watching again?
Perfect. I don't know anymore. Going back to the snow scene, I mean, this movie's full of ridiculous moments, but when they laid the trap and like all those guys dressed in white like popped out of the snow,
yeah,
I actually thought that was kind of cool. Like it's ridiculous, but when it happened, I went, oh, that was kind of a sick move.
I like how they kept bringing up him being cold that entire scene.
Yeah.
Cold, and then, you're now in the water. Now, how did he survive that? I don't even remember how he survived that.
He just woke up in a Russian hospital, and that's when we get introduced to
Gregor.
The guy, Gregor, who says that they're part, like the new KGB, but they're secretly the Russian mafia. So he wakes up and gets assigned, like his captain just reassigns him to them.
What a terrible boss! Hey,
right?
You're fine. Just go work with the Russian.
Like, did they not dig a little bit and realize that they were handing Jackie over to the Russian mob?
My name's Gregor. Can we borrow Jackie to do a thing? Yeah, no, that's all right. He'll be fine. Yeah, sure, go ahead.
It did seem a little loose.
Yeah, like you just.
Oh, by the way, we're sending him to Australia. Okay, gonna go commit some more felonies in a different continent.
So yeah, he goes to Australia, and they really let you know because they put koalas everywhere. Quinn, you lived in Australia for a while.
They're not that prevalent.
I would say, are they everywhere?
I also wasn't hanging out in penthouses.
True. Yeah. 8,000 square feet.
Yeah, I was in more of community places. Also, I think it's illegal to have a koala unless you live in one part of the one territory, New South Wales, which is a southern territory, and where he was in a northern territory, and it's illegal to have koalas up there. Little side note for you. So
Just throwing it out there. If you have an 8,000 square foot penthouse, you're probably rich enough to get around those laws. Also, thanks for clearing. New South Wales was in the southern part of Australia. This is like making no sense at this point. Can't even stay on the movie.
Just off
this
the
is
rails.
very on brand for this movie.
Yeah, good.
We can talk about the best fight scene of the whole movie, which is actually
Ladder.
Jackie Chan doing cool shit.
Yeah, that is. So that's the thing with this and Rumble in the Jungle, right? Like there aren't that many
Rumble in the Jungle.
Rumble in the Bronx. Like there aren't a ton of fight scenes, and yet this one there's even less. You're right. Like the ladder one.
That was it.
One.
That was pretty much it, unless you count them fighting underwater, which was dumb.
So
You
bring
can't
up
throw a punch underwater.
like punches are moving like.
I had that written down. Where is it? I had the underwater scenes are kind of cool
Not doing
looking,
damage.
but totally unnecessary because those kicks and punches aren't doing anything.
No, it's more just pushing the person away. And you might even just push yourself away at that point.
Yeah.
But
I've tried to punch my brother underwater. It doesn't do anything.
No, fair
It's
enough.
just because your brother could beat you up. I was going to ask, though, embrace debate, better fighting sidearm or whatever you want to call it, ladder or refrigerator?
I really like the ladder because of the extra scenes in the end when he tries to jump through it and misses like 5 times. I don't know how he didn't hurt himself.
He did. I think I said it last time when we were going to talk, or when we talked about this at the very end of the last episode, that I thought I read a long time ago that he broke ribs missing that diving through the ladder one time. He ended up breaking like 2 or 3 ribs. I don't know. But
See that for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question because the ladder is more mobile, right? You can lift it up and like use it a little bit more. But yeah, I like if it's a legit fight and I try diving through a ladder like Jackie did, I would need 10 takes. I'm not going to do that on my first try. So
Can we also talk how Jackie learned how to fight on stilts? Because I'm sure that wasn't in his repertoire until this movie.
I did think that the umbrella part was kind of nice too, or neat. I don't know if that's stolen from something else that I haven't seen before.
When they're like going to shoot them and they open the
up.
umbrellas to block them.
Right.
So they can't see them. Yeah. I like how the Russian mob boss was so careful about making sure no one knew he was part of the Russian mob and pretending to be like part of the KGB. But then he just commits murder right in the open right there. Just starts mowing people down. And then right after that, when they go to the aquarium, we'll say really nice of him. He actually paid for his 6 tickets to get into the aquarium.
He did pay to get everyone in.
He did. He said, "I'll take 6 tickets, please." Like right after committing murder. Considerate guy, you know.
And how was he a CIA agent if his uncle is the leader of a triad?
He wasn't an agent. He was just because his uncle was like the triad guy. They were using him to like.
Oh.
He wasn't.
But he was a scientist.
That's new information to me.
I thought he was a scientist. He's a Chinese-American nuclear scientist.
This movie, okay, so this movie's ridiculous.
I just love, no matter what topic we get on, it ends up in just someone being like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I just watched this yesterday.
I actually finished
right here.
I finished it today because I was like, I fell asleep watching
Too long.
with like 30 minutes. I was literally coming into this, and I'm happy that we're on the topic of like how kind of confusing it was. The first time when I started watching it, I was so like zoning out, and I don't know if it's because I just like lost interest in the confusion of the characters in the beginning, but all of a sudden I was like, how much time is left in this? And I was like, oh, a half hour? That's good. I still don't really know anybody. Like, I know their faces. I can tell you who's like seems bad.
To go along with this, I think the last lines of the movie are even his boss is like something about writing a report.
Yeah.
To like keep it simple. But start from the beginning.
Yeah, he says, all right, I'm going to need a very simple but detailed report and start from the beginning. What the fuck are you talking about, man? A simple and detailed report? You know what just happened? Jackie Chan snowboarded, jumped and grabbed a helicopter, almost drowned in the river, was in a submarine, went to Australia, was naked in Australia, because that's got to happen. Fought sharks and fought under, like, there's so much.
Don't forget, we get
boss
to see
is an
Jackie Chan's
asshole.
butt. We get to see Jackie Chan's butt.
That's what I'm saying. You get to see him naked. Yep.
At least puts it in like the second best Jackie Chan movie we've watched.
I don't know.
Yeah, this one's way better than Rumble in the Bronx. This one was actually entertaining the whole way through. I was like, this is, I don't know what's going on, but I like it.
It didn't help that, like we said earlier, it starts out really fast. Like it's literally in the first 5 seconds. It's just like
2 slides and it's like
something.
It's go time. You're going to Ukraine and you're going to be skiing and snowboarding very quickly.
The pacing in all these movies are not all, but like the last 2, like it's just really quick. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like you just, instead of a scene taking like 5 minutes to set up what's going to happen, they have 2 lines of dialogue to just hit it and move on.
It's an action movie, Matt. Less talking, more action.
Yeah, I think that's like when we were talking about in the beginning, or when I said that it seems like they shortcut a lot of plots just to try and get to the next Jackie Chan moment type of thing.
You explained it better than me.
What was the other thing I was going to say?
What are some highlights here for everyone? What are some moments?
I was questioning, and I don't know if this is probably something that I'll just be proven wrong, but like at the end when they end up shooting the shotgun through the glass, the aquarium glass.
Yeah.
Like I got to assume that glass has got to be such industrial strength that I'm a little bit would be.
It would never break that plexiglass.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, all the water pressure that's got to be on that glass and that like shitty like side like 20 gauge shotgun or whatever is just gonna bust it wide open. Like the amount of force that's probably being pushed on that grass from water is like, maybe that's getting really nitpicky about it. I'm sure that there's like legitimately good movies that have just as bad of like physics understandings, but
then he's running up the ramp and just shooting all these little windows with his pistol. So like even less powerful of a gun. Because I started laughing, like Haley was kind of watching part of it with me, but when they have that ship with the giant hole in it,
which the shark comes out of it,
which of course they have the stereotypical moment of like a scuba. He gets drawn in there by the shark and then just burps out like scuba gear. But when that shark first comes out, it looks like the worst shark in the world. I don't know. It looked so fake. I almost didn't think it was supposed to be real. Which, obviously it was supposed to be, but Haley started laughing. She didn't watch the movie at all. She was like working while I had it on, and she looked and just started laughing her ass off at that shark.
How dare she?
I also liked his stilt fight scene. That was pretty badass because he just learned how to do stilts like for this movie.
Oh, sure.
That was really cool. And then also sending a car into that boat at the end. Like, how'd you know you weren't going to just crush Annie or crush the other guys? Gotta stop them. Let's just send this car and just kill everyone. Jesus. Also on a ramp that clearly wasn't going to, like, you literally had to get your tires perfectly lined up with the display lines. Like, there's no way you're hitting that at 70 miles an hour and not flipping your car.
I think we're at the old physics thing again.
So as he was doing that and going up, like, you had me with the koalas, and the sharks, but you lost me with this car jump.
Yeah, I think you engineers need to get past the whole physics aspect of this.
I also want to know if Jackie Chan can drive cars like that, because it'd be pretty impressive. He whipped that Lamborghini and sliced the hovercraft. I want to know if he can flip or drive a car and whip it around and send it into a boat.
So Jackie Chan in this movie gets accused of murder, right? Like the uncle or the father,
in the hospital.
Yeah, like dies, and Jackie gets accused of murdering him, and so like he's on the run, whatever. Like that's kind of part of the movie. I like how towards the end of the movie they have a really short scene, like just a really clip where it's these two cops in a police station, and one cop has a tape, hands it to the other cop, and goes, "Oh, we just watched the tape, and Jackie Chan didn't murder that guy. He was set up." Like, what are you telling me that these cops had the murder recorded on tape, didn't watch it right away, and just accused Jackie Chan of murdering this guy when they had the tape of the murder the whole time?
I must have missed that in the chaos.
I don't know. I mean, it is, like I said, it's a short scene. Like, you could have blinked and you missed it. Bo, you watched it a little more recently, but like,
I totally missed that. I thought Jackson like cleared Jackie when they were fighting in the memorial, and then he shows up and he's like, because he showed up randomly too. He's just like all of a sudden like, where's he at? Oh, here he is. Jackie didn't kill my uncle. Perfect. All right, we'll stop fighting now.
We can literally not finish the topic without someone being like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I know.
I remember them talking, but I don't.
So much happens in this that the three of us can't get on the same page of
What I'm
anything.
saying is, if you haven't seen this movie, you definitely need to check it out, and then tell us what happened because
It's only an hour 20.
Someone's got to write like a PhD dissertation on this movie. Plot lines.
It's just a mapped out, like legit a map, and there's just
you're gonna
lines.
need,
all
you
over
need
the
diagrams with branching storylines.
It's gonna be like Charlie and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia in the mailroom.
Yes,
with Pepe Sylvia.
it's Jackson.
Fucking Pepe Sylvia, Pepe Sylvia.
Jackson. I got Jackson Yesai everywhere. You want Jackson Yesai or whatever? How you say this?
Oh, we watched the tape. Jackie Chan didn't kill him. It was someone else. He was set up.
Plot line cleared up.
The fuck
we got
it. Watch that shit immediately, man. Like, Jackie Chan is a cop. He's another cop, and you're accusing him of murder.
Sorry.
Are you yelling? Did April just yell at you?
Yeah, she says I'm being loud.
Aren't you in the basement? Shouldn't you be upstairs?
Yeah, well, you know what? My house isn't completely soundproof.
Oh, that's fair.
We have open concept here, Bo. Open hearts, open minds, open doors.
Yeah, that looks like a really enthusiastic face when you said that.
Not when your baby's screaming.
There's like healthy eyes, like very open.
It's mostly because my child is screaming.
Oh, almost 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I know. We put her to bed over an hour ago. You'll know. You guys will know soon. Or your kid will sleep great and be like, I don't know why you were complaining all this time.
Yeah, right.
And I'll be like, I will kill you.
That's right. I've been woken up by Ibiza not so bad last night, but 2 nights ago, she was like literally getting up on the hour all throughout the night to go outside.
She's prepping you.
That's what I told Maria. I was like, at least this is practice. Like, yeah. I don't want to go sick.
That's pretty realistic practice.
I always feel bad saying that, like with Arda, like, oh, Toby's just practice. Like, I can't imagine it's too similar. Like, I feel like some parents might take offense, like, oh, your dog's the same as my kid, really?
I'll send you this this funny, like, I think it was a College Humor skit about owning a dog. It's spot on. It's really funny. I'll send it to you since you guys are both going to be in the shit here soon.
Yeah. Kind of random. I mean, we've been off topic enough tonight.
We're on brand. Strike.
Don't cut any of this. Just keep it.
Keep this tangent in. Yep. Do you know the sex of the baby at all?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
No.
Maria. I mean, I know Blake's a girl.
Girl, I'm pretty sure.
For some reason, the way you're looking though on my screen, so you're looking to my right, and Quinn is on the top is to your right, or to my right. So I'm like, you're looking at Quinn, and I'm like,
pretty sure she's a girl.
This child is a year old.
I haven't changed too many diapers, but yeah.
But no, Maria and I are not.
You're not finding out.
Till she's born. Till I guess maybe I just.
Does she?
jinx myself. I said she, but till he or she is born. I didn't want to do it originally, but Maria talked me out of it.
That's right. No, we talked about this last time 2 weeks ago because you didn't want to, but she did. So you compromised and you're not, and you're doing what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
That's right.
You should have just found out and held it over. You'd be like, blue would look really good on
Yeah.
All right.
Should we do anything else with this
Is there, I mean,
first strike or wrap it up or?
Yeah,
I think it's good. I'm going good.
Yeah, you go. I would say good.
I really liked it.
I think Drunken Master, Legend of Drunken Master is probably the best one we watched.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
I would say we can do good, bad, or garbage on it. Quinn said good. Bo, what do you think?
I'm almost gonna lean just short on bad.
I was in between good and bad on this too, and I think I'm gonna go bad. But yeah, and then we could rank them. I think we're all gonna have the same thing. But yeah,
Drunken Master.
Drunken Master is the best, and then I'll do this. So I'll do First Strike next, and then Rumble in the Bronx.
Rumble in the Bronx is
I agree.
I want to see some more of his movies that were made in China, like Chinese-made films.
Yeah, there are some good ones. Like this is like a de facto fourth movie of the police stories.
Well, I just want something that hasn't been touched by Hollywood.
Yeah, but
these last two have been like Hollywood.
For sure. And that was I think the
straight-
point of these was to introduce Jackie Chan to like Hollywood to get his career going. But the police story, like the movies before this one from the 80s, I think are good, like considered good. And I don't think those were touched by Hollywood at all. But
Sure.
he's got a lot of stuff in the 80s that I'm probably going to try to look into. But yeah, as far as like other notes or trivia on this,
I didn't really see anything. I tried to Google, tried to do my research, keep this up, and honestly, it was didn't find anything. I did see, I talked about him breaking his ribs with the ladder. It wasn't his ribs, it was his nose, and he got a concussion.
Okay, that makes more sense because that's in the credits. They show him. I didn't see exactly how it happened, but he does the ladder stunt, and then all of a sudden, everyone rushes to him, and he's holding his nose. So that makes more sense. One of the other notes I had was what a ridiculous way for someone to die, having a back full of sea urchins.
Are we assuming he's dead?
Are sea urchins poisonous?
I made that assumption.
Well, Jackie fell in and hit his knee, and then they pushed that guy, got pushed in during the fight scene, and his whole back was covered in sea urchins.
Yeah, and then he just fell over, and I assumed died. Maybe he didn't, but I made that assumption.
That's
and Bo, I don't know if sea urchins are poisonous or not.
I think they are.
They're not poisonous.
They're not poisonous.
They're venomous.
Oh, okay. What's the difference?
It is very different. I know it's different.
Okay.
It is different. Hold on, I'm reading. You guys can continue talking. I'll come back with more information in a second.
Good. Do that research. But yeah, that was ridiculous. And I'll say, Quinn, you brought up box office stuff for Rumble in the Bronx. This one apparently was an even bigger hit.
This one crushed in China.
This remains Jackie Chan's highest grossing film in Hong Kong and is the third highest grossing domestic film in Hong Kong history. So yeah, this was huge. So yeah, box office wise, huge success. Critically, kind of mixed. Kind of like Bo, when you said the quote from Roger Ebert last time. A lot of the same stuff. I think this one was probably received a little bit better because people were they kind of got it. Okay, this is what a Jackie Chan movie is. It's kind of like you said, a knockoff Bond movie. Yeah. We're gonna get outrageous things, but really good action. So, it was received fairly positively.
So if we want to just go back to the sea urchins quick, it sounds like they're only deadly really if you're allergic to them, but they can have really painful situations, if they break off the whatever
barbs,
stingers, the barbs, whatever, can break off and stay in your skin longer. It can be excruciating pain for 24 hours. So,
well, that guy's gonna be hurting.
Yeah, if he's not dead, he could be allergic.
Could be allergic. That would have been lucky.
There should have been one line of dialogue, God, I hope we don't run into sea urchins at this because Bob's really allergic.
Surprise.
He fell in.
He just suddenly pulls out sea urchins
Yeah,
in with
stop.
duffel bag and starts tossing it. That's what we need. We need like instead of like throwing stars, someone just pull out sea urchins, start chucking them around.
But yeah, that's all right. We'll go on to Velocipaster. So this movie, it's only an hour 15 minutes long.
That was really short.
Dude, that was,
No, Velocipaster is an hour
Oh.
15 minutes long.
that's fine. That's all I need.
We're getting
hard.
We're getting shorter and shorter with each movie here. Let's see. So quick setup from the IMDb summary. After losing his parents, a priest travels to China where he inherits a mysterious ability that allows him to turn into a dinosaur.
Going back
At first, horrified by his new power, a hooker convinces him to use it to fight crime, period, and ninjas.
I'm in. The ninjas. Just when you think they got you, they don't have you, and they throw in ninjas. You're like, I'm in.
So, quick little teaser and setup for what's coming up next. So yeah, we can do that one next, and then we can kind of go from there.
All right, guys. I'm signing out.
All right.
Bedtime.
Same.
Sounds good.
Velocipaster.
Yep.
Bastard.